It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. Patrick's head was found, tucked away in a bed of rocks near the McNeil River Falls. The bear ravaged his body and left the parts it didn't want. His face was nearly unrecognizable. If it weren't for the teardrop tattoo Patrick had just under his right eye's lacrimal sac as a means of identification, the case for his life may still be ongoing. If only the bear possessed a hint of mercy and could consider redeeming the man's body it chose to destroy. If only it had granted him a swift death and spared him the merciless torture it put him through on that dire summer morning. What's up, guys? Iceman here. So this story is about a poor lost soul of a man who went out for just one more fishing trip and something horrific happened to him. But before I get into it, I'd like to thank you guys for all your support on this channel. And if you will, like this video, subscribe to the page and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. And I also just opened up my Chilling Tales merchandise store, so check that out as well if you have a minute. I don't want to have any annoying sponsors, so I decided to make my own products. So let's get into this chilling tale. It was unfortunate timing, as things were just starting to look up for Patrick's marriage of 11 years. He and his wife, Ashley, were just getting over the hurdle of an affair Patrick recently had with a coworker at his old firm. He had even made the big leap to starting his own business out of his home, partly as a means to keep loyal to his wife and perhaps start thinking about children. He decided to embark on one last vacation of his own without Ashley as a way to focus on positive life changes. One last break before his big run. So he planned a fishing trip to the Great McNeil River of Alaska. Nestled in the heart of the Alaskan wilderness, the McNeil River State Game Sanctuary stands as a testament to the remarkable diversity and beauty of nature. Spanning over 200 square miles on the remote Alaska Peninsula, this unique sanctuary offers a haven for a wide array of wildlife, attracting researchers, photographers, and nature enthusiasts from around the world. From the awe-inspiring brown bears to abundant salmon runs, McNeil River is a true natural wonder that captivates the hearts and minds of all who visit. Each year, millions of salmon return to the river to spawn, attracting an abundance of wildlife, including brown bears, eagles, and seals. The symbiotic relationship between the bears and the salmon is a fascinating example of nature's delicate balance. The area is known for its large population of brown bears, making it one of the premier bear viewing destinations on the planet. The sanctuary provides a safe and protected environment for these majestic creatures, allowing visitors to observe their natural behavior up close. Every summer, hundreds of bears congregate along the riverbanks to feast on the bountiful salmon runs, creating a mesmerizing spectacle for lucky onlookers. But on occasion, some of the onlookers aren't so lucky. Patrick was a very social and outgoing middle-aged man. He was a beacon of positivity to anyone who met him. Upon arriving to the McNeil River area, he booked a hotel and right away made a few friends, one of which was a young lady working at the desk whose name is undisclosed. According to her, Patrick commented on her red-draped cowl mini dress and toned body, and claimed that he always appreciated a woman in heels, especially one with matching attire to go with them. Allegedly, the friendship bloomed quite quickly, and she later expressed her deep sorrow for his abrupt and unexpected death. Evidently, she had his personal number in her cell phone and explained to authorities that he didn't respond to her texts regarding the following evening's planned meeting at the hotel pool where she worked. For unknown reasons, she was under the impression that Patrick was a bachelor and a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. It's unclear as to why she was under such impressions. There may have just been a simple misunderstanding. Patrick was dropped off at a common hotspot for salmon that time of year and waded in the water to fly fish. Sadly, this is when the man was last seen. It was determined during the investigation that Patrick had been carrying bear spray, and according to analysis of the remains, the spray had been deployed. Unfortunately, it appears that the spray had been ineffective or was used too late into the attack to deter the predator. Later in the day, a different boat operator in the same area reported a strange sight to local authorities. A large, male grizzly was briefly seen walking on the riverbank with what looked like a pair of brown fishing waders dangling from its mouth. The operator working with Patrick attempted several times to contact his client, but the texts and calls went unanswered. Local police and sanctuary officials started a search party in the remaining hours of daylight, but were only able to turn up a khaki-colored fishing hat, which may or may not have belonged to Patrick. The next day, a local salmon guide happened to make a gruesome discovery about a quarter-mile upriver from the falls. Wedged in the jagged rocks near the river's edge was the severed head of a man. Patrick's head was mostly unrecognizable. Carrion birds had found the remains after it was discarded by the bear and had contributed to removing the eyes and pliable skin of the face. The bones of the skull showed several deep lacerations on the top of the scalp and the face. It is unclear exactly what happened that day, as most of what remained of Patrick's body was never found. However, his penis and partial scrotum was located 2 weeks later, mostly decomposed, with maggots eating the remainder of the soft, spongy tissue. There were so many bears in the area, it was difficult to determine which one murdered Patrick. From the initial sight by the skipper, it was hypothesized to be a male Bruin, weighing around 650 pounds. The offending bear may have received a dose of bear spray if the spray had been properly used. Additionally, scat samples are typically DNA analyzed to determine if a bear has consumed human flesh. However, no positive samples were ever found in the area, and without recovering any more remains in the investigation, we are left only to speculate about what happened to Patrick that day and which bear was responsible. Jeez, what do you guys think about that situation? It's crazy how something like this could go down in an area where tourists are often attracted to. Like, you'd think you're going there for a good time to see the bears catch the salmon or whatever, but just around the bend, something like this occurs. It's also interesting how this grizzly or brown bear, rather, most likely ate Patrick's body and only disregarded a few notable things. It's terrifying to me how something like this could happen so unexpectedly. And this guy even had bear spray on him. I would think that I would feel relatively safe if I had a nice can of bear spray hanging on my side. But I suppose time and chance happen to all things. I've actually seen a few videos on YouTube with brown bears and grizzlies in areas like this, where say a guy is reeling in a fish or whatever, and the bear starts chasing the fish that's on the line. And I remember just a few weeks ago I watched a video like that, and the bear actually seemed to notice that the human played quite a role in bringing the fish back to him. It's like the bear knew that the guy was actually reeling in the fish, but even still, the bear persisted to chase that fish right into the vicinity of the guy. And this set up for very dangerous situations, from what I could tell anyway. I've also seen scenarios with guys on kayaks or canoes in areas such as this, and a bear with its cubs just comes charging out at the guys. One guy pulls out a shotgun, but ended up not having to use it. It just seems like the bears are very opportunistic, maybe even especially at their feeding sites. So it seems that it only makes sense to exercise caution in such areas. But what do you think? Would you dare go fly fishing in a river such as this one, with bears all over the freaking place? What sort of protection would you carry with you? Would you dare do it solo and on your own? Or would you require a buddy to be at your side? What do you think Patrick did wrong in this situation? And what do you think he did right? Do you think it's likely that the bear consumed his remains? And do you think this bear should be a concern as a potential threat to humans, more so than all the other bears? Comment below your thoughts on these matters and like this video if you will. Really appreciate you guys and all your support, as this channel has been a great time. So I'll be seeing you soon with more chilling tales from the Iceman.